Hey there everyone, Namaste to you all. I am Akshata Garg and in today's video I am going to help you in solving a problem that is generally asked in personal interview rounds. So the problem is how to find second largest number in an array. And there is a catch that the array may or may not be sorted. Okay. So guys, what is there that you may be provided an input list or array you can say, and you have to provide not first, second sort and second largest element in that array. That is, if I sort this array and then 35 is the greatest, but second largest is what? 34, and I have to give that at my as my output. Okay. So here are some of the approaches that you have can follow. One thing that came in my mind is that I can sort it in descending order and then print the second largest element. But the most efficient sorting algorithm, which is merge sort, it takes n log n time, and we also have to see the time efficiency as when we are doing some online coding round or something, then these time complexities are the things that matters a lot. Or the second approach that we can go through is that traverse the array twice and then search for an element. But there is always an efficient method to work. The efficient one method with which we are going to work is this approach that we are going to take two variables, max first and max second. We are going to maintain them. Max first contains the largest maximized element in an array and the max second contains second largest. Okay. So there is an array provided to us. What we will do? We will traverse and how we are going to manipulate our variables is if any element in the array is found as the greater than the first, this our largest element, then we are going to update it in the same manner that the second largest will contain the value of the largest element and the largest element will be number, that element at that particular index. Okay. Now what is there is another case that a particular element is greater than the second largest but lesser than the first largest. What does it mean? That it lies between max first and max second. At that point, what we will do is we will just manipulate the max second and update it with that greater value. Okay. In this form, we will just traverse the complete array once and it will return us the answer in time complexity of O of n and space complexity of O of 1. Before writing the code, I want to make it clear, guys, that my main approach was to explain this problem to how you can write the algorithm. The language I am choosing is Python, but it's just a matter of fact that how I am going to write. It's very generalized code that if you know any other language, either you work in C++, Java, if you have got this algorithm, just the work that is left for you is to write it. And I hope if this code is clear to you guys, then you can easily write in whichever language you are comfortable with. Okay. I'm writing in Python and it's also amazing language to work with. So what I'm going to do is, let's first take the inputs. How I'm going to take is, suppose I'm having an array. I'm taking the values same that we were having earlier, like this. Okay. So what I will do is, let me take its size as well and list and have an inbuilt function len which calculates the length. Okay. Now I am making a function. Suppose let's name it second large and it will contain array as well as its size that we are going to pass it. Okay. Now what I will check, there is a precondition that I have to check is if the size is less than 2, means if only two elements are present. If there are only one element, then there is no point of finding the second largest. So I will say just invalid input and I will return from here. Else if this is not the case, then I will make my two variables max first and another variable I am going to make is max second, and I am going to provide them a very less number. Okay, this is a very low number, so that you can say is that infinity of negative infinity type of number I am giving them so that they can be compared easily. Now I am going to use for loop to just loop it around the my array complete list. So range will be till the size that is provided by the user. Now what I have to check, if that at particular index, if it is greater than my max first. Okay, so what I have to do is my max second will be equal to my what? Max first, as we have seen in the algorithm, and I will then update my max first, which will equal to that value at that index. Okay, so it will keep on updating. Now there is another case, elif. What happens that my ARR of I at that particular index, that element is greater than my max second, and that ARR of I neither is equal to my max first. Okay, so what I am going to do, just update my max second is equal to that number. Okay, because it's greater than now, so we will update this number. Now all is done. So now what we have to do is just we will print it like this, that we will come out the for loop, and if my second is equal to, I can say this number, then just do one thing, give me a print statement and say second largest number is now present. Okay, and then do return from here. Else if this is not the case, means we have found print second largest number is, so I can provide my max second over here. Okay, so these are the cases in which way I can just do my work, or just leave it. We don't need the return statement over here because we are printing itself. Let me call my function second large ARR, and I have to provide the size. So let's run that. Okay, guys, this was a trial that never expect that your code may run at once, so you have to just keep on trying and read them carefully. And over here we are, 34 is my second largest number. Now what we can do is, if I just change it something to this, like this, so let's see. Okay, now 12 is my second largest number. Yes, now many of you must be thinking that in Python, do I need to write this much of code? I will say no and yes simultaneously, because if this type of problem is asked to you during interviews, then interviewer will expect from you that you know the logic, else you can use the inbuilt functions from the Python. I will make another function inbuilt. Okay, and what I will say, give me just array and that size. Okay, and what I need to do is, I guess I don't need size itself also, just I'm saying that my ARR, my array is equal to, there is a function sort, and I just need to print like this, that all preconditions we can manage over here. Let me call this a over here, and like okay, the error is all right, guys. So the problem is that we don't need these things over here, and all I can do is directly call my sort. Okay, and now I can just run this and see. In Python, just with 2 lines of code, you can achieve the same output, but there's a catch that whenever you go for an interview, this thing you can use during your online encoding rounds, but not in your that interviews, because they look for your logic, not your this. So I hope you get this, and thank you. Keep coding, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.